What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of The Bird's Nest, your one-stop shop for everything Birdland Fantasy Baseball. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the proposed rule changes. There's 9 of them. I'll go through each one of them, try to explain them a little bit so you guys maybe have a little bit better understanding, and then you can give me a vote by next Friday. All right, number 1, the trade voting policy. Current policy, very simple, 3-day voting period. If it gets to 5 objections, goes to me, the commissioner. I then vote on it if it goes through or not. B is removing all voting on trades for the league in general. C, we lower the trade days from voting from 3 down to 2 with the same 5 objections. And then D, plain and simple, just bring it down to 1 day for people to vote on a trade, and then it goes through or it gets vetoed on. Number 2, lineup changes after setting each week. The current policy, first pitch usually on Mondays. That's when lineups are set. You can't make any changes until that Sunday, till the week is over. For this one, there's a few different things that was proposed for this rule. B1 would be you can make one lineup switch, but it has to be within 24 hours after lineup set. So if it sets Monday at 7, somebody gets hurt Monday night, or they got put on the DL, whatever it might be, within 24 hours we can make a move based on that 24-hour period. The second one, you can make one lineup move at any point during the week, but it would only be if somebody were officially put on the DL or IR, whatever it might be, or they were suspended. Somebody decided to take some roids, Melky Cabrera style, and then they got suspended. You could then make a move doing that. The third one is, it's kind of the same thing, but just depend on the point system. Again, if somebody got injured or suspended, you would count the points for that person up until that point, and then at the end of the scoring period, then you put somebody in, for the last 2 days, you'd accrue the points for that person as well. So that's how that would work for, B2 and B3, just depending on the scoring for that. Number 3 is the toilet bowl that got brought up as a proposed rule change. Again, current policy is 6 teams make the playoffs. Everybody else just goes home, goes and plays golf, does whatever they feel like doing. B1 is just doing a toilet bowl for all the teams that didn't make the playoffs, just pretty much for shits and giggles, so you guys could see who was the best of the 6 teams that didn't make it. All right, B2 is a toilet bowl, but the outcome of that would base on what the first 6 picks of the following draft would be. We would kind of iron that out depending on what we want to do for that. And then B3 is, again, just having a toilet bowl for the bottom 6 teams that didn't make the playoffs, and we could throw in a portion of the waiver money that we do that goes to different league winners and whatnot. We would throw that to a winner of a toilet bowl, plain and simple. The 4th proposed rule is quality starts and wins point values. Current policy is quality start gets you 2 points, a win gets you 10. A lot of people think quality starts is a better stat to show how good a pitcher does. So option B is just to reverse that, make wins 2 points, quality starts 10. Plain and simple. Number 5, current policy is for bonus points for no-hitters, perfect games, hitting for the cycle, all that other stuff. You see now a perfect game is worth 50, no-hitter worth 25, hitting for the cycle is 15, and grand slams 10. What they're saying here is you already get enough points for hitting a grand slam with all the RBIs and bases and all home runs and all that other stuff. So just the same thing if you do a perfect game, all the strikeouts you're going to have in innings and all that. And option B is just completely remove all of that, because you're going to get plenty of points either way if they throw a perfect game, no-hitter, hit for the cycle, whatever it might be. So option B, like I said, just to remove all those bonus points. Proposed rule number 6 is the Week 22 scheduled opponent. So right now the season ends regular season ends Week 22. The way it works, the way it's been working the last few years is you play a cross-division game. It's just CBS completely random, picks whoever it is, and each year it switches. Proposed to change that up a little bit. For B, that one, it would be you play based on prior season's finish. So if you won the AL, you would play the winner, whoever won the NL the year before. If you came in last, you'd play the same last place winner of the NL. Just kind of competitive balance changes things up for that last week of the season instead of just making it completely random. All right, number 7 is our annual live draft. Current policy, usually I just send out an email early January, try to figure out the best way, best day, best time to try to get as many people as possible to show up to the draft. That's what it is right now, which seems to work out fine for the most part. We've had a few hiccups here and there the last couple of years, but that's what we've been doing. Another option would be just every third Saturday in March is the draft. So if you're working, if you have something going on, you know that every year that third Saturday in March is the draft. So you either get off, work a swap, do something with somebody, so or find a friend that you know that's going to be legitimate, that you trust drafting for you on that day. And then kind of the same thing, which is C, would just be the last Saturday in March. So just depending on when we really want to have the draft, later in the, closer to the season, or just the third Saturday. That's what those are for the live draft. All right, number 8, which is a minor league reserve bench spot. Right now, our teams can have 23 active players, 23 spots on our team. Whether it's major leaguers or minor leaguers, doesn't matter. That's what you have. This rule is pretty much just saying that, kind of like the IR, but we would have a minor league bench spot, so it wouldn't go against your 23 active players. You would, if you drafted a minor leaguer, for example, you drafted Dylan Bundy this year, you could put him on your minor league bench spot, and he could sit there until he gets called up. Once he got called up, you have to make him active, so you'd have to drop somebody or whatever, or drop him, whatever it might be. But that's just what that is. That's, somebody brought that up, something they might want to add to the league. So I'm just throwing it out there to everybody. So that's what that minor league bench spot is. And then the last rule, the Victor Martinez rule, I guess we can say. That's what it's been thrown around as recently. But right now, when we draft, as long as they are in the CBS player pool, you can draft them, throw them on the IR, do whatever you want with them, doesn't matter. Pretty much what this rule state, the couple changes for this one, which is letter B, is if you drafted somebody that was on the IR or the DL when you drafted them, you could put them on the IR, but once they came back, if they came back at any point during the season, you'd have to take them off the IR or the DL, whatever it might be. And you couldn't do this for waiver wire players. It would just be for a drafted guy, kind of like Victor Martinez. Even though he didn't come back last year, if he did come back in, let's say, August, you'd have to take him off you have to take him off your IR spot and actually make him an active player. And then C is just, we can't draft anybody that's on the IR that starts the year. That was the other one, or that was deemed inactive for the whole season. I guess I'm not really sure how we would figure that out, but we could figure it out some way. But that's all the proposed rule changes. There's 9 of them. Please give me your responses back. If I don't get a response back from you by next Friday, I'm just going to assume that you want everything the same, no changes, whatnot. All right, I'll talk to all you soon, and happy Valentine's Day.